Have you ever said something in the heat of the moment that you later regretted? Maybe you snapped at someone you care about, or acted impulsively and felt ashamed afterward. We've all been there. But what if you could train your mind to pause, stay calm, and respond with wisdom instead of reacting with emotion? 2,000 years ago, a Roman emperor wrote down private notes to himself about this very struggle. His name was Marcus Aurelius, and what he left behind in his journal, later known as Meditations, wasn't just philosophy. It was a manual for mental discipline, self-mastery, and emotional control. If you're tired of being a prisoner to your impulses and want to start living with intention, clarity, and peace, you're in the right place. Subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and most importantly, stick around to the very end, because these 10 lessons might just change how you handle conflict, build deeper relationships, and even transform your love life. Let's dive into the 10. Marcus Aurelius' suggestions to train your mind to respond, not react. For recognize that you are not your emotions. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." The Stoics believe that emotions are like clouds. They pass through us, but they are not us. You might feel angry, anxious, or jealous, but you don't have to become those emotions. Start your training by creating space between the feeling and the response. Say to yourself, "This is anger I am feeling. I am observing it. I do not need to act on it." To practice the pause, when your heart is racing and your thoughts are spiraling, hit the pause button. Marcus often reminded himself to return to reason. In moments of tension, he didn't rush to speak. He let his thoughts settle. Just like muddy water becomes clear when left undisturbed, your mind regains clarity when you wait. Before you speak, before you act, breathe. Ask, is this within my control? One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. Marcus constantly reflected on this question. Is this thing within my control? If someone insults you, you cannot control their words, but you can control how you respond. If your partner is in a bad mood, you can't change that, but you can decide to meet them with understanding instead of defensiveness. Every time you react impulsively, ask yourself, am I reacting to something I can't control? 4. Journal your triggers. Marcus used writing as a way to understand himself. He didn't hide his flaws. He wrote them down. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, today I will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant. He predicted the day's challenges. You can do the same. Take note of the people, situations, or thoughts that spark your reactions. Knowing your triggers weakens their power. When you know the fire is coming, you can keep the water ready. 5. Train your inner dialogue. What you say to yourself matters more than what anyone else says to you. Marcus Aurelius constantly corrected himself in his writing. He would say things like, stop being disturbed. There is nothing the soul cannot do when it remains within itself. Instead of saying, I can't handle this, say, I will face this with calm. Instead of, they made me mad, say, I allowed myself to be moved. I choose peace. Your mind is your most powerful ally or your worst enemy. Train it well. See, every challenge is training. To the Stoics, life is the gym. Every problem is a workout for your character. Marcus didn't wish for an easy life. He saw his role as emperor not as privilege, but as a responsibility, a daily training ground for virtue. When you get cut off in traffic, when your partner forgets something important, when your plans fall apart, say to yourself, this is training. This is practice. I am becoming stronger. 7. Don't personalize other people's behavior. One of Marcus's most repeated insights. Another person's wrongdoing is their own concern. My job is to respond rightly. Most of our emotional reactivity comes from taking things personally. But what if their rudeness has nothing to do with you? What if their anger is about their own suffering? Train yourself to see others as struggling humans, not enemies. That shift alone can dissolve your reaction. 8. Choose virtue over victory. When someone attacks you, your ego wants to win, to be right, to have the last word. But Marcus taught a different path. Choose virtue over victory. Be kind even if they are cruel. Be silent even if they shout. Be honest even if it costs you. He wrote, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. If you always act according to virtue, you never lose. 9. Embrace the view from above. Marcus would often zoom out and imagine the vastness of the universe. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. When you feel yourself reacting, take the view from above. In the grand scale of time and space, does this argument matter? Will this fight matter in 5 years? 5 months? 5 days? Most of our emotional explosions are over things that don't matter. Rise above. 10. Practice daily reflection each night. Marcus asked himself, what did I do well? What did I do poorly? What can I improve? This wasn't guilt, it was growth. When you react emotionally, reflect. Replay the moment. What triggered you? What would Marcus have done? What would your highest self do next time? This practice turns regret into wisdom. These 10 lessons from Marcus Aurelius aren't just old words. They are living tools. You don't need a classroom. You don't need a guru. You just need the willingness to pause, reflect, and act with intention. And here's the most important part. Marcus Aurelius didn't always get it right. He struggled, he failed. That's why he wrote these notes to himself. Because he too was training. So the next time you feel the heat rising, the next time someone pushes your buttons, ask yourself, do I want to be a slave to this moment? Or do I want to master it? The answer is already within you. Respond, don't react. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.